All right, everybody, let's get on over to the patch notes and read them. I haven't read them at all. This is a first take. I really wanted to do it like this and just kind of get my first initial reactions. New content, factory rework. All textures and geometry of the plant building, its interior rooms, cellars, structures, and machinery have been completely redesigned while maintaining the general dimensions and layout of the original location. I bought my trusty tea tonight so we didn't get some hoarse throat. Rooms, basements, and workshops have been refined while maintaining the large-sized objects of the original location. Some areas of the plant and the cellar area that connect all 4 workshops have been expanded, added outdoor areas around the plant. Added several new crosswalks at dead-end locations. Okay, I like that. That's cool. Improve the upper level area in the workshops for easier accessibility. Okay, the upper level area in the workshops. So that's in the offices. That's what we call offices, I'm assuming. Adjusted the spawns and extracts for PMCs and scavs to match the expanded areas, of course. Improved the AI behavior. Redistributed the loot and containers throughout the location, of course. And added new tasks. Okay, so we're going to have some new tasks specifically for factory. And then, of course, we got our new boss, Partisan. We knew he was coming. Not much is known about his background. People say that he is a combat veteran and has been obsessed with tripwires and booby trapping since those days. Knew that was coming. He is on good terms with Jaeger. Their goals and moral compasses seem to be aligned. Ah, okay. So we got another hermit guy, another little weirdo. That's cool. I like my weirdos. Or perhaps it's their military past that binds them together. Partisan holds firm to his principles in Tarkov, going after people he believes to be honorless and hunting them down. Whether they be PMCs or scavs, he has no ties to other local bosses and tries not to cross paths with them. Okay. So he's not going to make alliances, I guess, during wipe events. His view on traders is similarly negative with the exception of Jaeger. Okay, so he's just buddies with Jaeger. Your standing with Fence has no effect on Partisan's attitude towards you, so he doesn't like Fence either, and it cannot be increased or decreased by helping or killing him. Interesting. The boss appears in forest-type locations. He is more likely to appear in a raid with low karma PMC. So he really is like Jaeger, whose little hideout is the first thing we have to do at the beginning of every wipe and find that note. So he likes forest-type locations. In this case, Partisan will hunt those players down with low karma. If there are scavs with low karma in the raid, they will also become his targets. Ooh, nobody is safe. However, any player has to be ready for the traps and expect a firefight when encountering this boss, regardless of their karma. Okay, all right, so he's going to go for specific people, but he's also not going to discriminate, I guess, if everybody's karma is good, if that makes sense, which that's great. I think that's a fair way to have it. Partisan prefers a stealthy approach, taking advantage of the terrain, setting traps in advance, and only then engaging in open combat. The process of preparing and exploring a location takes up most of his time, while open confrontations are less frequent. When fighting against multiple opponents, he can lure one of the players to his booby traps, which he sets up beforehand. The boss acts alone. He installs tripwires, actively uses grenades, can move quietly through the terrain, and track his target for a long time across the whole location. Guys, that's pretty intense. So he's like a goon in a sense, where he can track you across the location and moves quietly through the terrain. So there's some cultist aspects to him as well. This is cool. I like this boss. This makes the game, especially when you're just moseying about woods, those spots where you think you're safe, you're just walking through the woods and you don't think anything's going to happen to you. That changes now. Karma. Added a new hidden parameter, karma. The karma value changes depending on the player's actions. Generally, it can be increased by adhering to a more open playstyle and decreased for dishonest playstyle. The number of triggers that change the value of karma will always be increasing, and the triggers themselves will be adjusted and balanced further. In some cases, karma changes can be tracked by a distinctive sound notification. Okay, so they're going to give us a sound noti, and the karma value changes depending on the player's actions. Duh. Generally, it could be increased by adhering to a more open play style and decreased for a dishonest. Okay, so there is no explanation here about what's going to be up or down. Open, like what are we saying open is? Like I guess maybe the translations from Russian to English, like this is that language barrier issue. Dishonest, we know what dishonest is, but what is dishonest? So they're not telling us really what it is. We got to figure it out. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is by playing and communicating as a community, which, we do that already. Hence, videos like this. All right, map to map travel. New game event, marathon. Oh, okay. During the marathon event, location transits will only be available in the corresponding game mode. Marathon is only available in PvP mode. Interesting. I was wondering how they were going to introduce this, and I was talking about that in my video I released yesterday about what exactly they were going to do with this, if it was going to be part of the task progression. But this is interesting. It's an event. Players will receive a unique achievement for completing the marathon event. After the event is over, all location transits will become available in all raids. Okay, so you can transit after the event is over. Wow, that's cool. Added the ability to travel from one location to another, to move to another location. Okay, so that's separate. That marathon part, this right here is just separate from moving from one location to another. To move to another location, the player must enter the transit zone and select the appropriate option in the context menu. Location transits are available after 7 minutes from the start of raid. All right, so you can't run there immediately. You gotta play a little bit. During the transit, the player will be able to transfer some of the items found in the raid, which will be moved to the stash for a certain price. Okay, a little tax there. After transferring the items, the transit timer will begin. When activating the transit and transferring items, the ability to exit the current location will become unavailable, and the player will be forced to use the transit. Okay, so no matter what, if you want to transfer items, you have to transit. So you cannot exit the current location and just go back. You'll be forced. Okay. When attempting to transit in a group, players can use the transit only if all living members of the group are in the transit zone. So if you come in with all your buddies, you have to go with all your buddies that are still alive. If several players who are not in the same group use the transit at the same time, they will be transferred to the next location together. Okay, you're in that raid with that specific raid code. If you decide to transit, you're going, and somebody else does, another group of PMCs does, they're going to go with you. Solar players can join a group and also transit to the next location together. Wow. So you can choose the team up. So there's an incentive. Why would they do this and not introduce matchmaking in general? That's just like, all right. This is a really roundabout way to introduce matchmaking, I guess. The available transit directions are marked with a dotted line on the location selection screen. So we all know what that looks like, that dotted line. That's that map screen where we choose where we're going to escape from Tarkov. Added the marathon achievement. Okay, so, for visiting all locations in one raid. That's fun. There's going to be a lot of people going for that immediately. Okay, tripwires. So single-use consumable item, the tripwire installation kit is required to install the tripwire. The item cannot be found in raid or bought on the flea market. The kit will be available for purchase after completing Jaeger's task chain. When the item is in the inventory, the player gets access to the tripwire mode by using the B key on appropriate grenades. Interesting. Okay, so you have to affix it in raid, and it's a little animation like healing. The grenade must be in the hands to switch to the tripwire mode. I like that. So it takes a little time, and it has a minimum and maximum installation length. It can be placed on any flat or slightly inclined surface. Tripwires can be activated in a number of ways. So we're not going to be able to place them just anywhere. That's good. So anything with a steep incline, it's not going to work. By shooting the wire from a short distance, you can activate it by hitting the wire with an explosion shrapnel, or hitting the wire with any physical object, including players or bots or items. Interesting. So if you're trying to pass off loot to your buddy and you don't see it, and you just toss the Salewa on the ground, and just during activation, the tripwire does not explode instantly, but with the fuse delay specified in the grenades. Oh, so, okay, of course. So if it's, what's that called, an M67, it's going to be quite a delay. But with a VOG, you're going to get instant. Tripwires can be disarmed. To do so, approach the booby-trap grenade and disarm it through the context menu. Disarming takes a certain amount of time. Having a multi-tool in your inventory significantly reduces the disarming time. Finally found a good reason for the multi-tool in raid. I love that. We have those special slots. Now we have to choose wisely. After disarming, you can pick up the grenade and use it in a tripwire. Tripwires disarm on their own after a certain amount of time. There's a limited amount of time, so you can't, I'm guessing you can't leave that all raid. Let's say you're going to extract and you just booby trap it and you're like, ha ha ha. It probably disarms too when you leave, I'd imagine. So that's cool. I like this. This is interesting, you know, especially if you want to be able to block like certain pathways. You know, if we're going to treat Tarkov as a, you know, a realistic shooter, as a, you know, almost like a military simulator, and with those milsim attributes, the Chad gameplay of us running around and jumping and doing all the crazy stuff that is done, that's going to kind of tone that down a little bit, which I love that return to the milsim realistic shooter. All right, so bipods and weapon mounting, that's pretty self-explanatory. But, oh wait, no, this is important, because now we can mount a weapon. We must aim at a suitable horizontal or vertical surface and press the mount weapon key, which is V by default. Oh, well, that's my VoIP, so I guess I got to change The recoil, stamina, and consumption is reduced when firing a mounted weapon. Wow, this is huge. That changes a lot. Recoil, stamina, consumption, and weapon sway is greatly reduced when firing a bipod mounted weapon. For bipods, it's recoil, stamina, and weapon sway, and then with just mounting your weapon on a surface, it's just recoil and stamina. The weapon sway is not reduced. You'd think that would be. Mounting the weapon while prone is only available if the bipods are installed and deployed on the weapon. The icon in the corner of the screen shows whether the weapon is mounted or signals that the given surface is not suitable for mounting. I like this so far. I did not think map-to-map travel was going to make it. That was the last thing I thought was going to make it, but what we did know is that we were going to get the gear rack, and it has 3 upgrade levels. Each level adds a mannequin, which can be used to display any gear equipable on your PMC. You can equip gear from the mannequin or exchange the gear already equipped by your PMC for the mannequin's gear. I like that, so you can just swap it out, which we have the quick slots already in the inventory to swap out our inventory real quick after a raid, but that's pretty neat. Pouch items and special slot items do not apply to equipping and exchanging. Mannequin gear is displayed in the list of kits window. You can equip a kit from a mannequin there. Oh, okay, so it's in that list of kits. New hideout zone, cultist circle, and it's located outside the main hideout. Interesting. You can sacrifice up to 5 items in the cultist circle. The value of each sacrifice item is added up. Total determines the value of items received as a gift from the cultist. The cultist cannot deliver items while you are in the hideout. If the value of single sacrifice is above a certain threshold, there is a 25% chance to receive items needed for active tasks in unfinished hideout zones. The value of the sacrificed item is further increased by the bonuses from Sacred Amulet, hideout management skill. Players who have purchased the Unheard Edition will have the cultist circle built instantly. Oh boy, BSG, this is where you and me got to fight. And this is why I don't like it. I don't like that it's the Unheard Edition. I mean, I know those people paid a lot of money, but I just, it's a controversial thing here. So, yeah, I mean, is it pay to win? I mean, it's just an upgrade to the hideout. But here it says the cultists cannot deliver items while you're in the hideout. So, interesting. So they're going to deliver to you in raid, and the value of a single sacrifice is above a certain threshold. There's a 25% chance to receive items needed for active tasks and unfinished hideout zones, which the active tasks, I guess that is kind of pay to win right there. Oh man, BSG. Whatever. Let's just move on. Let's stay excited. It's wipe day. AI enemy reaction system. Added variation in AI behavior when spotting another AI or player in PvE mode. Behavior model is chosen depending on the lore relationship between the factions. Okay. All right. So that's where rogues. Okay. It's there's more down here. Let me shut up. Possible reactions: instant aggression and attack, friendly unless shown aggression, total friendliness, warning and attacking if not obeyed, neutral unless shown aggression. So if they tell you to screw off, you gotta do it or they're gonna attack you. The choice of whether to be aggressive depends on the mood, in quotations, of the bot and the faction of the target. I guess they're saying mood because they just want to explain when you're killed for absolutely no reason because the AI just, isn't perfect. They develop something that they can't control. For example, if an AI bear encounters an AI USEC, they are more likely to engage. Okay, but not necessarily 100% than they would be if they encountered another AI bear. It looks like this is PvE, so that's cool. The decision whether or not to be aggressive or peaceful is made to both player scabs and player PMCs. Okay, so that's PvP though. The chance of meeting a more aggressive AI PMC varies depending on the location. For example, on Ground Zero, under level 20, the bots are more friendly, and in the lab, they are the most aggressive. Interesting. So they made them a little bit more cushy in Ground Zero to start. That's nice. That's nice for new players. I like that. That preserves the longevity of the player base. Faction interactions will be implemented and balanced further in both PvE and PvP modes. Okay, thank you. You're probably going to want to do that. All right, new weapons, equipment, and loot. So we got the Uzi, Iwi Uzi, the Pro Pistol 9x19, the submachine gun. They're all submachine guns. So SR3M, 9x39 compact assault rifle. 9x39, that is like the spear, right? Or am I wrong? Magnum Research Desert Eagle. Cool. And there's 6 variations. U.S. Ordnance M60E4 LMG deployed. U.S. Ordnance. I'm sorry. There's 3 variants of that M60. Woohoo. The M60's coming. I just realized that M60. The E6 at the end confused me. Updated weapon models. AS Val. Cool. And the VSS Vintorez, which to me the same gun. And the Keter fam. New caliber 50 Action Express. Of course, we're going to need that for our deagles. 50 AEFMJ, AEJHP, Copper Solid, and Hawk JSP. So there's 4 tiers of 50 cal. New weapon attachments. Adjusted the functionality for pistol grips on the Makarov. Improved the AUG A1 and AUG A3 visuals. Updated the grip animation. Added a visually operating gas piston. Added some animation variations depending on the installed attachments for new and updated weapons. Updated the grenade animations. Oh, okay. So they're not going to look as stupid. That's great. Added new types of equipment, armor, helmets, loot. New options for character customization. Quality of life improvements. So added the ability to smoothly adjust zoom for the following optics. All the ones that make sense, the burst, full field, the AOTech, the loophole, the March tactical vortex, Schmidt and Bender, all the ones that just make sense that, have that in real life. I own a AOTech Voodoo myself for the rifle that I own, and it's true. It does do that. And that is in that video I was talking about that I just made yesterday about wipe tips. So go check that out. You might want a breakdown on all the mechanics here. There's some things that they added towards the end of this past wipe that you may not know about that you should know about. So go check that video out. I'll have it linked in the description. Default hotkeys for smooth zoom adjustments are Alt, scroll up, scroll down. Okay, great. I like that. I'll keep that. Selecting grenade with G. A new icon with hotkey G is available on the quick access bar. It will display a grenade the player will equip first. You can select a specific grenade by holding G. Okay, I thought we already had that. I guess that was just with healing. Flashlight and tactical device operations. Added the ability to activate tactical devices and flashlights by pressing and holding a hotkey. Manual value entry and in-game settings. Added the ability to manually enter values in the game settings. Okay, that's great. Hotkey adjustments. Updated the sorting order of hotkeys in the control settings. Action. Melee attack has been reassigned to U on I have double click on B. So simplified the objectives for tasks, setup, and long road. Oh boy. Completely removed trade offers for class 6 body armor, plate carriers, ballistic plates, and helmet modifications from traders. Yes. Yes. That is awesome. These items can now only be found in raid. Guys, that's an amazing change. That means the people who are going to have class 6 body armor are the people who truly earned it by playing the game and looting or by killing other players. That's amazing. The highest tier of armor is now only found in raid. It's going to be a rare item. You're not going to be shooting at somebody like the freaking killer 1,000 times. That is really cool. That is great. Let's see if you can you trade it? Change the availability of ammo on the flea market. Now all ammo with less than 42 penetration is allowed on the flea market with a few exceptions. Increase the damage of 7.62 by 3.9, 5.45 by 39, and the 9x21 calibers. I didn't know about the 9x21 having an issue. And then slightly reduce the damage of some 5.56. Interesting. So they nerf 5.56. I don't like that because all of our 5.45s are all like way faster fire rates. But maybe because it's just so easy to find, they wanted to reduce the damage of it. But no, these are the ammunition balances that I was hoping that would occur because we're reverting back to the old armor. Technical changes. Equipment clipping. Implemented the anti-clipping system. Now elements of helmets, glasses, masks, collars. Oh, guys. That's huge quality of life for me. Because I'm an OCD person. I'm not going to have to edit it out of my thumbnails on freaking Photoshop. That's cool, man. I like that. And it's not going to bother me when I'm going into raid. That's great. It's taken so long for them to fix that. But really, I'm super, super hyped about this class 6 body armor. I wonder if it's going to be able to be sold on the flea, though. Or it's not, right? It is a restricted item, isn't it, already? I don't play much endgame, so you guys just let me know in the comments. Balancing the ammunition, that's huge. That's great. I didn't think they were going to do all this. I really didn't. I figured they would just test and then be like, okay, we'll change later. Animations. Reworked animation playback system to increase the accuracy of first and third person synchronization where possible. Optimized left shoulder animations for more smoothness. Cool. I thought it was pretty smooth already. Added special door interaction animations. The number of interactive object animations will increase further in the future updates. Okay. Graphics, they redesigned weather conditions, fixed the bugs that led to unpredictable weather conditions. So it was doing whatever the hell it wanted. I knew the AI was doing whatever the hell it wanted. Improved the cloud visuals. Clouds react to weather changes more realistically. Updated FSR technology to version 3.0. So whatever. I mean, that doesn't matter. Switched the in-game season to summer. Okay. We're in summertime. It's summertime in Russia. Sounds. Improve the environment sounds. Get out of here. Please don't do this to me right now, BSC. Do not bring up sound and have me get on this game tomorrow or the next day because tomorrow's going to be or today I should say, it's going to be so hectic. Do not have me get on and you not actually have fixed my sound now. Okay, develop the component that tracks the position and rotation of the listener and moves the source along a predetermined curve, changing not only the position of the source, but also its exposure angle. Okay, this is like audiophile, different language. I don't know what that means. By changing the exposure angle of the sound, it becomes more natural. All right, fair enough. Implemented a large number of different sound sources to enhance immersion. For example, the flow of water through the pipes on factory, the rats running in the vents, and many small details that are randomly played at the specific points, from the fall of pebbles to the interference of electricity in the generators and the air coming out of the boilers. Okay, so what they mean by different sound sources, they mean ambient sounds. Like we have the dogs barking and stuff now, so they're continuing to expand on that. Sound system performance optimization, occlusion, calculation, algorithm adjustments. Again, audiophile Chinese. No offense to anybody who speaks Chinese. I just don't. So it seems like a very hard language for me to learn. Transfer the whole algorithm to multi-threaded calculations. Finalize the search and calculation of the angle between the source and the listener. Improve the use of depth to determine its effect on the sound. Improve the curves tuning, which is responsible for volume decay and sound propagation in complex geometry locations. With these adjustments, the overall sound is smoother, with a better grasp of the sound source location. Okay, all right, here we go. Active headset adjustments. All right, this is it. Improve the separation of weapon sounds and other sounds into different compressor channels. Adding the split of sound subgroups and increase the number of customizable parameters for more control. Okay, for more control on that end, or we have control of our headsets. Adjusted the frequency, response, noise reduction level, and compressor values, as well as their technical specifications to match the specs of the real headsets. Recorded the real active headsets that are used in the game, the sound of shooting environment sounds in them to allow further fine-tuning. Okay, so this is on the back end. This is not us fine-tuning headsets in the game. The position of sounds, distance awareness, and the sound of in-game active headsets were noticeably improved. All headsets have their own unique equalization, resulting in a different sound for all headsets. Oh boy. Oh my. Okay, well, there's always some kind of changes like this, whether it's visual or hearing, so this isn't exactly what I wanted from this, but environment, sound system, whatever. That's ambient. Sound system performance optimization, occlusion calculation. So with the direction in which it comes from, that could be huge if they, actually did it right, which we'll see. And then they just made better recordings of the headset. Ooh, okay, here we go. Crashed on me there for a second. I bet everybody's reading this right now. Same thing I'm doing. All right, so oh boy, here we go again. Another. See, it's as the notes go on, guys. This is like it gets more and more like, oh boy, anti-cheat update. So it's not the stuff up here with Partisan and all that map to map travel. It's the stuff down here. It's like, ooh, tread lightly, BSG, tread lightly. Anti-cheat update. We're almost done. Implemented protection against a series of exploits related to monitoring loot on players' location using forbidden software. Okay. Implemented protection against a series of exploits related to network synchronization and unfair movement using forbidden software. So what this is like, hey, so, we still know it's a problem. Sorry. That's what this is. That they're still going to make buckets of money off of account selling and all that. It's a part of their business now, and they're not going to eliminate that part of the business model. It's just always going to be there. Good luck in your raids. List of changes, fix a number of visual bugs in geometry, textures, and calling on all locations. Okay, that's great. Incorrect status of DSP transmitter in solo PvE raid if the player entered the hideout. I don't know what that is. Fix the visual artifacts. Fix the synchronization of loot state and container when the weapon was folded. Okay. Explosion, automatic filtering. Fix the soft lock when using a weapon that was looted from an airdrop. I don't know what that is. Incorrect bot spawns in PvE mode. So just some more quality of life stuff. Okay, just this review real quick, guys. So we'll just go back up, actually. Let's start back down here. So anti-cheat. BSG doesn't care. They like making money off cheaters. Fair enough. Whatever. This right here, sound system performance optimization, occlusion calculation, algorithm adjustments. Because this is something I don't understand, this may be huge. It may be huge, but we know how BSG is with their sound. They're really trying to do their own thing with it and have not done so great so far. I mean, like people just creep up on you and you're like, what the hell? I mean, I'm not talking about crab walking. I'm not talking about that issue. I'm just talking about in general. You play Apex Legends, you know exactly where anybody's coming from. I mean, and every game struggles with it. Like Call of Duty is similar to Apex. I think Apex Legends is probably the best as far as footsteps and that kind of sound. Graphics, okay, cool. Animations, okay, cool. Technical changes. Oh yeah, equipment clipping, huge for us people who can't stand it. Class 6 body armor, plate carriers, and ballistic plates, and helmet modifications. no longer on traders. They can only be found in raids. They're probably restricted on the flea. So that's really cool. Any ammo with less than 42 penetrations allowed on the flea. That's cool. That's a nice balancing change to the new armor hitboxes. So it's more aplenty. And then we're going to have to see what's up with setup and long road, but those two aren't like too crazy. Long road, that's where you have to kill 15 scabs. They're probably going to reduce the scabs on long road, if that's what it is. I might be wrong. Setup, they might reduce the amount of player kills or made it so you could go to multiple maps, I would say. Let's see here. Cool. New weapons. Oh, no, sorry. That's optics. My bad. New weapon attachments, of course. That's great. That's all cool. Grenade ammunitions. Then we have our new weapons and our new ammunition and our new caliber, 50 cal. The AI is going to be a little bit different in PvE, so that's cool. There's it's going to be different in PvP too. From what I can gather here, there's some adjustments I guess I have to do with rogues and that kind of thing. And I'm guessing the bear faction might be introduced as a surprise. So be on the lookout for that on the streets. There's talk of that. Not the streets, but the streets of Tarkov. Be on the lookout for the new bear faction, because we have rogues who are racist against bears, and now we're going to have a bear faction that's not cool with USEC. Cultist circle, pay to win bullcrap. Get out of here. Hate you. New hideout zone, gear rack. That's neat. I like that. That's just cool that another thing that Air Wing Marine's going to be popping up in front of when he does his patch notes reading like this. And a place to put your gear, I guess. Bipods and weapon mounting, that's cool. That's a whole new mechanic. That's like vaulting. Vaulting's been a huge addition. And then tripwires. I mean, I like tripwires. I think this is going to make the game better. I really do. It's going to give players who aren't Chads an advantage. It's going to allow you to mount defensive locations and that kind of thing. But I don't know how this is going to play into karma, though. And apparently, the whole dishonest part of the karma was supposed to be something that had to do with, ratting, which, where's the fine line between someone who's using a tripwire to lock down a location and ratting? We will see. This is cool. New in-game event. I hope it happens often. We have more events in general. I've always thought we needed more events. Tarkov is very slim on the events. That's pretty cool that we have something that looks like it might be consistent throughout the wipe here. Yeah, good times. Karma. This is all very, very unknown. They were not specific about this. So who the freak knows, man? We gotta just go ahead and check it out and test it. And then of course, Partisan. I think that's a cool addition. I think his behavior is neat. It's slightly cultisty. It's slightly goonsy. And then he's got tripwires. And then new factory. So welcome to the wipe. Hope your raids go well. And you should check out my 5 tips that you must know before you go into the wipe. Go ahead and check out that video. I'll have that one on the left, and the one on the right will be a fun little entertaining video. If you watch it, I think you'll just have fun. You'll love it. Until next time.